In conversation with Al West. Al West is a critically acclaimed and internationally published author who specializes in self-help literature. Recipient of the PeerCite Award, his expertise lies in guiding individuals to embark on an introspective journey of identifying their true identity. His writing are a reflection of his own life experiences, the diverse interaction that he has had the opportunity to have, underscoring the often neglected everyday struggles of individuals which inadvertently affect their psychological, emotional, and physical well-being. His book has been reviewed by critics as a gentle yet enduring source of healing for people. Notably, his publication, Mouthful of Masterpieces and Minds, Poetic Power Principles, amplifies its distinctive poetic writing style, reflecting his well thought out choice of vocabulary and phraseology aimed at encouraging individuals to challenge preconceived identities and defy the status quo within their minds and bodies. It follows a motto of manifesting the best possible outcome and living a life indifferent to the judgment of others. On a personal front, Mr. West has also found success as an entrepreneur. He firmly believes in prioritizing people in business and is dedicated to changing the prevailing focus on profit in entrepreneurship. His progressive thinking and eagerness for new, innovative ideas enable him to connect with the younger generation effortlessly. He enjoys spending his leisure time in nature, appreciating the simple thing in life, and considering that embracing optimism is essential for personal and professional growth. And on today's episode of Auto Interview, it's my utmost pleasure, joy, and excitement to have on the show today, Hal West. How are you doing, Hal?
I'm doing amazing. How about yourself?
I'm doing very nice too. I mean, it's quite lovely to have you on the show today. Quite exciting. We're going to be having a conversation around your beautiful way. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, yeah. So, Al, I'd like you to tell us about your book, Mind. Whose description page on Barnes and Nobles reads captivatingly to me. I know from reading your bio, I can tell a bit about your mission with it. But then I'd like to ask you, regardless, how does this book come about? What inspired you to write Mind? And how did you even thought of giving it a title name as Mind?
Absolutely. Well, I wrote the book because I believe in giving people something to digest, something absolute to read. A lot of times, people like to read fiction books, things that are fairy tale, and
Mm,
I wanted to come off authentic, and I wanted to give them something that I have experienced in my life, and things that
mm,
have helped me become the person that I am. And basically to liberate the mind, to get people back to themselves, to get them back to thinking about themselves. A lot of times we are living extensions of what others think of us, whether it's our parents, our teachers, our peers, how we dress, how we think, how we
absolutely.
move, where we decide to work. And I wanted to give them something better. So I decided to put my best work first. And everything comes from the mind, whether it's an idea to create a phone, a car, or an idea to write a book. So I
Mm.
came up with the book Mind, Poetic Power Principles, because I write my books in a poetic format.
That's quite amazing. That's quite awesome. Very great to hear you talk about how mind comes to be. Thank you so much for sharing. I really enjoy you talking about it. Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and just for the sake of readers who haven't read the book yet or that would be reader, I would like you to tell us without giving much information away, what sort of themes we'd expect picking up mind, and also how did you come up with this title name itself?
I came up with the title again because everything derives from the mind. Everything
Yeah.
that we create in this world and this reality comes from somebody's mind. Even the roads you're driving on, the microphone you're speaking on, came from
Mm.
somebody's mind. Um, I wrote my book in a poetic format because
Oh.
it, it's an easy way for people to digest what's going to come next. If I didn't write in chapters, I write out of experience,
Mm.
and so I write it in pieces. Of course, we eat our food in pieces, otherwise we choke. So I like to write in puzzle pieces. That way, when they get to the end of it, they can put the whole puzzle together to get the truth of what I'm trying to do here. Is
Mm.
basically put you in a self-alignment aspect of yourself.
Oh wow, that's quite amazing. I enjoy you talking about the fact that, and that's very true. Everything comes from the mind. The idea of a laptop in front of me comes from someone's mind. The idea of a cat riding off an aeroplane flying over the air comes from the mind. The idea of putting a bottle of water starts from the mind. The idea of smartphones starts from the mind. Everything starts from the mind, you know. It's all connived in here before the actual visualization, before the actual effect of action on it. That's very amazing. And to know that you convey your writing in form of poetry, that's quite amazing too. That's quite lovely to know.
Yeah, yeah. It just it's the way that it comes to me, and I like to break things down into little bitty pieces. And I like to think of it like watching a movie. If we watch a
Mm,
good movie, most of the time I'm gonna go back and watch that movie later, whether it's with me or with my wife, or I'm just gonna go back and then you're gonna catch something or see something you didn't before. So the more
absolutely.
that you pour into yourself and make yourself a better person, you can go back and read this book and you're going to comprehend something you didn't comprehend before.
Yeah. Oh wow, enjoy your take on that, and that's very, very true. Thank you for sharing. And now I'd like to ask you, Al, what three words would you say to people to simplify their process in life? What three words? I'd like to hear your take on this particularly. What three words would you say to people to simplify their process in life?
Three words that I always use for myself that I would give anybody, and the best advice that I could give you, and it
Yeah.
might sound too simple, but the best advice is to change your mind. Change your mind.
Wow. It's amazing, really.
Let me elaborate though.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is when you a lot of us are taught, right? A lot of us are taught things, but we don't have the wisdom of things. A lot of things are passed down through knowledge. Something I was taught, I'm going to teach you, and something you were taught, you're going to teach them. And if we don't change our minds and if we don't have the experience of things and we're just taught things, then we're not going to have the wisdom to know that things need to change.
Hmm.
So, those three words, change your mind, I keep in front of me every day. And I try to have my own experience with things so I can have the wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah. Even if I think it's a very important thing to even talk about, yeah. I know you've written in the self of Jana, that's beautiful. Even if anyone desire success, if anyone desires something much better for their life, it's all about changing your mindset. Everything starts from the mind. Oh, I don't like this lifestyle, I want to change it. Oh, I want to do more for my life. I want to earn more money, Everything starts from the mind, yeah. Once you've got the
Right.
mind change and position it towards what you want to achieve, then it's achievable. Yeah, so it's a very great one. Change your mind. Beautiful three words you've got
Absolutely.
for us. Amazing. Very simple, concise, and very powerful as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Thank you. I'd also like to ask you a very simple and short question. What is your greatest asset? Also, what inspired you the most as a person?
Question. My greatest asset, I would say, is communicating with people right where they are in life.
Wow.
And a lot of us are not able to do that because we work with a judgmental mind. So I had to come to a place in my life where I wasn't being judgmental with myself in order to not judge others at the level that they are in life. So
Mm,
my greatest asset is being able to communicate with others right where they are in life and to try to inspire them to be in a better position based off
mm,
of where they are, not where I am. So,
wow.
if a seed falls to the ground, it has to grow. You don't hear the tree barking at the seed saying, I'm stronger and better than you. I'm going to nourish that seed until it grows into a better tree and a stronger tree as I am. And then we can work together.
Wow. That is very wholesome. Very, very wholesome. Quite pulling. Very great and thought-provoking.
Right. I just think that coming from a place of authenticity and speaking to people and being able to come off of whatever high horse you're riding on and come to a level of their understanding, then you can communicate with them more effectively. And
Mm,
you're going to learn something vice versa because I'm
yeah.
the type of person that can learn from the janitor all the way up to the CEO of the company. I'm going to listen to everybody because there's something to learn from everybody,
Mm.
including myself. So
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Now I can see much more about the importance of communicating with people. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, apart from Mind, do you have any other works you've authored or say currently working on?
I have 14 titles on Amazon. I also have a Mouthful of Masterpieces. That's that poster behind me. That was my first book that I wrote in 2022.
Oh,
And then, of course, mine is my newest accomplishment. I write books and I also create journals for children, I also create coloring books and stuff like that. And the reason for that is
mm,
because I want to inspire the youth as well. So
oh,
I've created journal coloring books that have positive affirmation words in them. So as they're coloring positive affirmation words. They're not just coloring pictures. They're coloring actual words that say, I'm better. I love myself. I think I can
mm,
do this. Things of that nature to inspire the youth. Like I said, you have to nurture the seed in order for it to grow into the strongest tree. So I believe that
mm.
starting, I have a young one, so I believe that communicating with him as well to inspire him to be a better version of himself.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I really do love your answers to these questions. They're quite educative, quite inspiring, and wow, and thoughtful. Very thoughtful.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. I need to thank you to Al for coming on to even share the story about your book. That's very amazing. Yeah, very
Yeah,
amazing.
I thank you, like I said, for giving us even the platform for me to share my story. I've seen your work, and I really appreciate all the hard work you're doing to give authors like me the platform to even speak and do the things that we do to educate the world of who we are.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that as well. Now, I'd also like to ask you, Hal, what inspired you to write in the self-help genre of literature? What do you aim to achieve with your book?
Life has inspired me. Choices have inspired me. I'm not going to
Mm,
say I was the most perfect person, but
mm,
experience and things that I didn't want to experience inspired me to be a better version of myself. Making choices that didn't put me in the right position inspired me to be a better
mm,
version of myself. And being judgmental of people put me in a position not to judge others because of the things that have happened to me in life. So
mm.
that's inspired me to write in the self-help genre to help others with the things that have happened in my personal life and to become a better version of myself as well as showing somebody else how. Like I said,
Wow,
the knowledge can be passed on of what hot and cold is, but the wisdom
absolutely.
is not to touch it if it's hot.
Yeah,
So I wanted to put myself in a position to give people wisdom, even though they might have the knowledge already.
wow. That is very thoughtful of you to say. That is very amazing, quite motivational as well. Thanks for sharing. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, as a published author, I'd like to hear your take about this. What sort of advice do you have for other writers who are currently struggling with writing and publishing a book, especially in your sort of genre? What should you advise people in this category?
First thing I would say to them is nothing is a struggle, right? Everything is just something you don't know.
Mm,
So if you look at it as a struggle, it's always going to continue to be a struggle. Look
mm,
at it as it's information that I don't have. Either you can go with a publisher, someone who can distribute your books and publish them for you, and you're going to give them a percentage of your hard work.
yeah.
I am a self-published author. I've self-published every title under my name. And I
Oh.
like to take the long game. I like to take the long road because in the end, I'll reap the benefits of everything that I've done, and I won't be giving away a percentage of me to someone who doesn't even appreciate the hard work that I put into it. They're just
Mm,
looking for a percentage of something that I've created. So I've taken the long road and I've self-published all my books. And I've done extensive research on how to accomplish those things in order for me to win, in order for me to grow. in order for
Mm,
me to know. So I would say to that person, find out how to do it yourself. Do some
mm,
research. There's a lot of videos on YouTube for
yeah,
self-published authors, and
yeah.
there's a lot of ways out there that you can get Amazon to distribute your books. You can get Ingram Spark to distribute your books. You can get Draft to Digital to distribute your books. That way, you get a higher percentage of your hard-earned work, and you're not sharing with someone that just wants to make a percentage off of something you've created.
Interesting. That's very amazing. I love your take on that. I'm hoping that viewers, even including myself, would love to utilize it. Thank you so much for sharing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, that's like to ask you, could you tell us what publishing is like for a published author like yourself? Are there any challenges you've encountered in the process of writing your book and also ever since you've got published?
I would say that the only thing is be ready to spend money on yourself, whether it comes from marketing your book, getting other
Mm,
people to market your book. That's where you're going to spend the most amount of your money at, is trying to get the world to know. But thank goodness for people like you, because you're created a platform for me to do that as well. So
yeah.
no real challenges. It's just spending a lot of money on marketing and making sure the cover is right. Like I said, I've created my own cover. I've
Oh,
created the
wow.
covers and everything to all my books. I learned how to do that, and I once you know, you can't unknow it. So I'm one of those people that if I'm gonna start something, I want to know it from the front cover to the back cover.
Mm,
And that way I'm educated on how to accomplish that. So then when I do decide that I'm gonna pay somebody to market my book, I know
yeah.
that they're the right one. I know that they're the right one for the job. So
Mm.
that's why I'm interviewing with you today, because I knew you were the right one for the job.
Oh, well, thank you so much. That's so fun to say, yeah. And thank you for the kind words. Thank you so much too for your
Absolutely.
answer to that. That's quite beautiful. I'd like to ask you too, is there anything you'd love to share with the viewers before we wrap up here? Is there anything that you'd love to share with the viewers about your book that we did not mention in this interview and you'd love the viewers to know?
I have a quote in my book, and it's called Generation. And it goes, generations, you will teach your children what your grandmother taught your mom if you don't
Mm,
change your mind. So essentially, you're going to teach a repetitive pattern that was taught to you if you don't change your mind and turn the knowledge that you're getting to
mm,
wisdom and give them a different platform to grow
very
from.
true.
You're just going through a repetition, repetition, repetition. And I don't think that that's helping any of us. So,
Mm.
like I said, I wrote that quote. It's a powerful quote. You can find me on the mouthful of masterpieces.com. That's my website. It will give you links to all my social media. It will give you links to all my books. And you can also book a call with me on that website if you want to talk to me personally.
On what platform can you find? I know you already mentioned a website. What other platform can we find your books just in case we have viewers who love to get a copy of them?
My book, if you were to Google my name, my books would come up on Barnes and Noble, iTunes, anybody's Android phone. I'm in the Play Store under Al West, A Mouthful of Masterpieces.
Wow,
Almost every platform. You can either find my ebook, my audio book, or my hardcover, and
interesting.
also on Amazon as well. So probably on almost everything. Spotify, you can find my audio book on
Wow,
Spotify.
amazing.
Yeah, I've put in some work.
That's commendable, Hal. That's amazing, yeah. And I left a link in the discussion part of this interview where interested viewers can get a copy of Art West books directly on iTunes and Barnes& and Noble on his website and the host of other sites as well. I also left link to social media pages for possible followings. So thank you so much, Al, for accepting the invitation to featured and P English literature. It's awesome, and I must say, it's really more than awesome having this lovely conversation with you around your beautiful title. Thanks for coming on.
And thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my pleasure as well.